Okay guys, so I'm going to walk and talk now. Yeah, take my glasses off. So I'm going to walk and talk. Walk and talk works for me, right? So whatever helps you get it out there, alright? I'm a better photographer and filmmaker than I am presenter, alright? So whatever helps you get it out there, right? Walk and talk for me all the way, okay? I'm going to show you this pack that's on my back, okay? It's made by a chap called Benny Mail. Alright, his company rather is called High Range Outdoors, okay? So he sent me this, a prototype pack, he sent me it. He's another one of the blokes who's on the Bushcraft Oz forum. So he sent me it for a try out. I was looking for a more modern day pack, alright? And I posted on the Bushcraft Oz forum. I'll do the linky thing down here. And I said, oh, you know guys, what would you recommend, you know? Because it's quite often, you know, people have really good suggestions. People have, you know, a lot of different experiences from different backgrounds and stuff like that. So if you try to find, you know, what pack's going to work for you, you know, a lot of people have really good suggestions. So I was looking for a more modern pack for longer range hikes. It's kind of like summertime. Pretty sort of simplistic kind of design. I don't really like too many pouches. Things like my expedition and things like that. And Benny said, oh, look, I'll send you my pack, I'll send you my prototype, give it a little try out. So I'm going to be giving this pack a little try out, taking a fair few day hikes. It is a sweet little pack. Has one or two really interesting little design features which I'll take you through. But I'll take you through it, I'll show you. I like the simplicity of it. And I mean, this isn't really a full review. Because you know it's a prototype, but it'll just give you an idea of what this guy does and what's he about and stuff like that, and you know kind of what he's capable of and stuff like that. It's quite a nice chat. Chatted to him a few times. So yeah, I found a place to set up. Really nice day to be out. Tons of wild edibles, tons of plant life. It's really nice just to be out, man. Got a little bit cooler in the last half hour, which is nice. So I'll set up and have a look at this pack, man. Okay, so it's cooled off a bit and got a little bit of cloud cover, which is good because it makes it a little bit easier to film. Alright, so we can have a bit more of a close-up look at the pack. It is quite hard to film in Australia sometimes just because it's such bright light all the time. It's very hard to photograph stuff. But here's the pack, right, which is the Wanderer. Okay, now again, it's about a 35 litre pack, probably got about a litre in each side. Okay, so it's kind of like in the category of a day pack. Okay, possibly you could use it as an overnighter for sure, with a lightweight sleeping bag and a tarp. Do you know what I mean? In the summertime, do you know what I mean? But primarily use is going to be as a day pack. Okay, so it has a couple of interesting design features, right? And I'll take you through the whole pack, and I'll give you my opinion of it. Right, I've just put a little drink bottle there, just to give you an idea of scale. Alright, now one of the things I actually like about the pack, and this sounds a little bit weird, right, maybe a little bit pretentious or something like that, but it's actually the colour. Alright, but there's actually sound practical reasons for that. Okay, now in Australia you have a lot of insects, and it pays to have, from an insect point of view, it pays to have a low profile, right? So if you ever watch any of my videos, you know, I'm usually wearing light colours, like coyote brown or grey, that kind of thing. This is a hard jacket work shirt. This just works better for me. I find I get less bugs, right, when I wear these kind of colours. If I've got a pack that's black or OD green, or you know, it's got red or orange on it, it seems to attract the flies and attract the insects. Okay, so from my point of view, this kind of coloration of a pack is pretty good, right? I know that sounds a little bit silly to some people, but for me that's actually quite a big consideration. Alright, I don't really, personally, from a personal preference point of view, I like to have quite a low profile. Alright, and I don't really like bright orange and bright colours, all that kind of alpine hiking kind of stuff. I like to have quite a low kind of profile, but I don't really want to look like I'm in the military, right? So this pack, you know, maybe has a slight military touch to it, but you know, it doesn't look particularly you know, like it definitely has to be something that was issued in the army. Okay, so you know, just the coloration and design work for me personally. I really can't stand camouflage. Personally, I think it's a little bit over the top. You don't really need camouflage unless you're a sniper or something like that. But for me, it works, right? Okay, the style of it and the coloration of it, right? Both from a personal preference and just from a practical point of view, from my experience and different bushwalks in this area, right? So we'll get a bit more stuck into it, right? So you have a basic configuration, which is you sort of basic bucket, all right, and two side pockets, all right. Now I like that certain simplicity in packs, all right. For me personally, I like that, you know, just I don't really like Maxpedition and things like that, where it's, you know, pocket here and a pocket there and an attachment there. You know, personally, packs that I would look at buying are things like the Birdhouse Monroe, or maybe the Carrymore Sabre 45, and things like that have a certain kind of, like, you know, purity to them, simplicity. You know what I mean? That's what I look for personally, right? Again, everybody's different, whoever rocks your boat, but I just like that certain straight up and down simplicity, clean lines kind of pack. All right, so we've got our two side pockets right now. I'll start with the side pockets. There's quite a lot to get through here, but we'll start with the side pockets. Thing to say, this is designed as a bushcraft pack. All right, that's how Benny designed it. Okay, he does a few other different things in his company. He does ones for the emergency services, and he does packs for the hunting, but hunters, right? But this is mainly designed as a pack aimed at the bushcraft market. All right. So we go into the side pockets again. All right. So each side pocket has its own compression strap. All right. So it can be cinched down, right? If it's not in use, or, you know, you're going through the scrub, you know, it lessens the profile of the pack. All right. And each side pocket, you know, obviously it takes, you know, a standard drink bottle, alright, kind of Nalgene, and also take more your canteen style, you know, drink bottle, like, you know, US canteens and you know, Crusader type stuff. Okay, you know, I've got my titanium mug in there. Alright, so compression strap, compatibility, and then also we have a little through here as well. So if you want to use, you know, you want to go and do something with an axe or a large cutting tool, you know, you can carry it in there as well. Alright, then we come over to the back of the pack and have a look at the back. Okay, this is one of the unusual design features, which is the compression straps are on the back. Okay, which actually works really well. It really does hug your back. It's quite comfortable. You really feel it close in. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand why more companies don't do that. It works really well. Obviously, normally compression straps are on the side. Alright, but in this case they're on the back. Okay, so a little bit unusual, but works quite well. This pack at the moment, it's a little bit floppy. We're probably about half capacity, right? I'm only on about, you know, 6-7k hike at the moment. Alright, so I didn't really need that much gear. Okay, so I can handle more than this. Alright, and then we have two rails coming down the side. Alright, and these you know, obviously you can use with sort of PAL type gear, you know what I mean, add little pouches on them and stuff like this. I'm not really too fussed in them, to be honest, but, you know, again, you could put a walking pole, cinch it in with some cord or whatever like that, you know what I mean. It gives you a little bit of flexibility with the pack. Alright, so if we go to the lid of the pack, alright, again, this is something that's quite unusual. Alright, now the closure system, instead of a lid with a storm collar, we have essentially what is the same design you get in a dry bag. Okay, we open it out there. Alright, we can see inside the pack. Alright, so you can see I don't have that much in. There's my lunch and there's a fleece and a few odds and sods. Not really that much gear. Right, so I found with this closure system, which is a little bit unusual, has its advantages and its disadvantages. Okay, it is quite nice, easy access. You're in and out pretty fast, certainly faster than a more conventional style pack. The only disadvantage is you can't overstuff it. I don't know about other people, usually when you use a normal pack with a lid, you always end up sticking a jumper in the top or a jacket. You kind of overstuff it like that. I'm sure we've all done that. You kind of lose that capacity. So it's give and take. It's nice, easy, quick access, but you kind of you lose that overstuff kind of capacity you get with your kind of normal design. You would get in a lot of packs. Like Carmos 45, for example, would be good, or the Monroe, or just about any pack you get. Uses that system, but this system works well as well. Again, that's two very unusual design features, both which work really well. Okay, I'll flip it over and we'll have a look at the harness system. Alright, okay, so nice wide shoulder straps here, alright, which are quite comfortable, I have to say. I find these wider straps, certainly you're better having a wider strap than more padding on a narrow strap. Just seems to work better. It just gives you a better level of comfort. Again, we've got a bit of padded on the back, but it's not overly padded like some packs, which just seem to add to the weight. And then inside we have an insert. Okay, always a little bit tricky. This is just my watch. Sometimes when it's hot, I just carry my watch like that. That's just me. So we have an insert. This did have a metal stay in it, but I took it out. I found it to be unnecessary. And again, you can use that, sit on it, or use it as a knee rest or whatever. So that just gives a little bit of rigidity to the pack. You know what I mean? But just again, pretty simple. I think the idea is the space where the insert goes, this can be used for a hydration bladder, but I don't use a hydration bladder myself, so I'm not really too worried about that. Again, personal preference, okay, but for me it works quite well. Again, the kind of styling, the colouring and all that kind of stuff works for me. It is certain simplicity of design. It's just really nice comfortable pack, hugs your back. You don't really think about it too much, and that's quite often when it's a good bit of gear. I find you don't really think about it too much. When it's a crap piece of gear, you think about it a lot, because you're always having to adjust it and change it and try and make it work. Alright, so it's on my back, it does the job, it's not overly complicated, it's in the same kind of it does the kind of things I want it to do. Do you know what I mean? So there's a kind of look at the Wanderer. Again, this is a prototype. There will be a production version available, but it'll probably have a few different design features on it. Do you know what I mean? This one I have used about 4 or 5 walks. It's starting to get a little bit scuffy and stuff like that. There is the odd loose thread here and there, but it's a prototype. Do you know what I mean? So you would expect that. Generally, the quality of the stitching is very, very good. There's 1 or 2 spots that could be done better, but again, it's a prototype, so you would not criticize the pack for that. It's not a production model, so that's not an issue. There's 1 or 2 little things in the design that could be better, that I've talked it over with Benny, and he's probably going to alter it. These need to be longer, alright, to adjust the shoulder straps. Alright, it's just not enough material there. With the closure system, there just needs to be a little bit, a few inches more on the top. Just with that closure system, there is the danger is if you don't cinch it really tight, it can go loose. So he's going to change that a little bit, but it's a very clever pack, very good design. I've enjoyed using it and getting it dirty a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's high range outdoors. I'll put some photographs as I've been using it and taking in little trips and stuff like that. I've taken photographs of it, so I'll put some photographs up at the end, and hope you've enjoyed this video.